Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Authentically Angie Denise, and today I will be discussing why I got a hair transplant and my hair transplant story. So basically, I was tired of being bald, and it had been over 20 years since I was a kid and my edges were snatched out. I went on vacations and my wig fell off in the ocean on vacation, and it was embarrassing. And I decided enough was enough. Enough was enough. And like I said before, I didn't feel confident and beautiful to share my alopecia with my significant others. And I know that that's something that shouldn't hinder me from feeling beautiful in front of them, but I just didn't. So I researched doctors, and then when I decided on one, I decided to have my hair transplant in August of 2020. The process was pretty good. It took under 6 hours, maybe about 5 hours for it to be done. They shaved the back of the head, and then they cut out some skin, like maybe about this width from here to here. And then they sewed up the back, and then they cut slits in the sides of my head, and then they inserted the grafts. The most painful thing the day of the surgery was the needle. It was a really big needle. A really, really big needle. And you're not asleep for the procedure, you're wide awake. So they had to take the needle and stick it in and out of my head to numb my whole head. It was so incredibly painful. Part of the reason why I would never really want to do that again. But after that, my scalp was numb and the day went on pretty smoothly. At the end of the day, when I got to the hotel, I could not sleep like laying down. I had to sleep sitting up. I had to sleep sitting up for maybe about 4 or 5 days. But I propped up a bunch of pillows behind my back. But when you go to sleep, I would just kind of like slump over a little bit. And if I fell on the incision, I would wake up immediately. So it was pretty painful. Then I wore scarves. I wore loosely fitted scarves around my hair transplant, and I wasn't allowed to lift over 5 pounds. I was told not to lift over 5 pounds for a couple of weeks. So I did just that, and it took a few months for my hair to start coming in, but around 2021, I started to see the hair coming in, and I felt absolutely beautiful. You couldn't tell me anything. Oh, then I bought my first headband wig because I couldn't wear headband wigs before because I didn't have any edges. But now it's like I can wear headband wigs because I have edges. So I was so excited. And my edges were thick and beautiful, just luscious. I was so happy. Then around 2023, I started noticing that my edges were thinning. Now, I know you see that I have twists in my hair right now. This is the first time I've ever had anything like this in my head since 2010. And my best friend did my hair, and I made sure that I left my edges out. But basically, I started seeing that my hair was thinning. So I started buying Vegamore. I started buying hair vitamins because I still had hair there, but it was short now and it was not as thick. Earlier this year, around February, I saw a short with a hairstylist that's based in London, and she was talking about that she gets PRP injections for a hair transplant, and then I realized that I needed to get PRP. My surgeon told me it was optional, but I wish he told me that you need to do it. Upon further research, I found out that you should get PRP injections between once or twice a year. I got my first set of PRP injections in April, and then again in May. And then I've taken a few months off, and I decided to get PRP again in October, and I will be recording that. I am doing everything I can to see if I can grow my edges longer. I have some hair there, I will show you, but the hairs are very short. My hair looks way better than it did before I got a hair transplant, so I don't regret it. I just wish that I was told that I should get PRP, because then I would have gotten PRP twice in 2021, twice in 2022, twice in 2023, and I would have had my thick, beautiful hair that I had after the transplant. And before anyone can assume things, I did not snatch out my edges myself. Every time I had a hairstyle in, I always left my edges out. Always left my edges out. I never included them in the style unless it was twists. And if I did do a flat twist, it was with my real hair and it was very loose. I never added fake hair or anything to my edges. So it's just really hurtful that the hair just started to just thin. So I don't know if I'm going to get a second hair transplant. If I do, I know there are some amazing doctors on YouTube that I can consider, such as Dr. Truesdale. I don't think I would go back to my initial surgeon, not because they didn't do a good job, they did an amazing job, but only because they did not stress to me that I should definitely get PRP, because after 4 or 5 years, the hair can recede. I thought getting a hair transplant was completely permanent. I didn't know that I still would have poor blood supply to the side of my head. So I'm not sure if my follicles are dead, the ones that are gone, but I'm going to try everything in my power to bring them back. I will try a derma roller, I will try serums, I will try everything in addition to PRP, and I'm going to get steroid injections again. And the reason why I think that it may work this time is because I have hair follicles. They've been transplanted. So it hasn't been that long since my hair has thinned on the side of my head. So I feel that they may be asleep and they may be able to be woken up, the hairs. Also, another contributing factor that could be going on is that I have gone through a lot of stress this year. This has been a really stressful year for me. So I don't know if my stress has contributed to my hair falling out. And I also have had thyroid issues within the past couple years. I don't know if that also could be a contributing factor. Anyway, I hope to have you along this journey with me to growing my edges and seeing if I need to have a second transplant and if I will go through with it. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.